Hey everyone! Welcome to our channel where we dive deep into the mysteries of the human brain. Today we're talking about ghosts. You know, our brains are amazing, but they can also trick us. We're going to explore why some people believe they've seen ghosts and other spooky things. Get ready to learn about shadowy figures, strange sounds, and the science behind it all. Okay, so picture this. You're sitting alone in a quiet room, maybe reading a book or just relaxing. Suddenly you feel a chill down your spine and you think you see a shadow move out of the corner of your eye. You hear a faint whisper, but when you turn around, there's no one there. Inside our brains there's a part called the temporal lobe. This area is crucial for processing sensory input and is deeply involved in our perception of reality. It's like the control center for our senses: hearing, seeing, even smelling. It helps us interpret the world around us by processing the information we receive from our environment. But here's the thing. Sometimes the temporal lobe gets a little confused. This confusion can be caused by various factors, such as stress, lack of sleep, or even certain medical conditions. When that happens, we might hear whispers when no one's there or see shadows moving in the corner of our eyes. These experiences can be quite unsettling, making us question our own senses. Some scientists think that energy fields around us could be messing with our temporal lobes, making us sense things that aren't really there. These energy fields could be natural, like electromagnetic fields from the Earth, or man-made, like those from electronic devices. It's like our brains are trying to make sense of these weird signals. They interpret them as something familiar, like a whisper or a shadow, even if there's no real source. This fascinating interplay between our brain and the environment can make us feel like we're experiencing something supernatural, when in reality it's just our brain's way of processing the unknown. Ever look at clouds and see shapes like a bunny rabbit or a dragon? It's a common experience that many of us share. We gaze up at the sky and suddenly, the clouds transform into familiar forms. It's almost magical how our minds can create these images from mere vapor. That's our brains trying to find patterns even when they're not really there. It's called pareidolia. This phenomenon isn't limited to just clouds. We see faces in inanimate objects like the front of a car or a house. Our brains are wired to recognize patterns, especially faces, because it's crucial for social interaction and survival. Our brains love to make sense of the world, so sometimes they fill in the blanks with familiar things, even if it's just a trick. This ability to find meaning in randomness helps us navigate a complex world. It's a testament to the incredible power of human perception and imagination. This might be why some people see faces in the shadows, or think random sounds are ghosts talking. Our minds are constantly at work, trying to make sense of the unknown. So next time you see a face in the clouds or hear a strange noise, remember, it's just your brain doing what it does best. Have you ever woken up and felt like you couldn't move or talk? It's a terrifying experience that leaves you feeling helpless and confused. That's called sleep paralysis, and it can be super scary. Imagine being fully aware of your surroundings but unable to react or call for help. It's like being stuck between a dream and being awake. Your mind is alert, but your body is still in a state of sleep, creating a surreal and often frightening experience. Our bodies are still asleep, but our minds are awake and aware. This disconnection can cause a lot of confusion and fear, as you struggle to understand what's happening. This can make us hallucinate, seeing and feeling things that aren't real. These hallucinations can be incredibly vivid and often involve seeing shadowy figures or feeling a presence in the room. People have reported feeling pressure on their chest or even seeing figures in their room during sleep paralysis. These sensations can be so intense that they feel like a real threat, making the experience even more distressing. Understanding sleep paralysis can help reduce the fear it causes. Knowing that it's a natural phenomenon and not a supernatural event can bring some comfort. If you experience sleep paralysis, try to stay calm and remember that it will pass. You know how every culture has its own ghost stories? Well, those stories can actually affect how we see the world. If we grow up hearing about haunted houses and spirits, we might be more likely to think a creaky door is a ghost, instead of just an old house settling. Our beliefs and the stories we hear can change how we understand things we don't know about. Here's a fun fact. Our brains sometimes like to be right even when they're wrong. It's called confirmation bias. Basically, we tend to pay more attention to things that support what we already believe and ignore things that don't. So, if someone believes in ghosts, they might get really excited about a weird noise and think it's a ghost, even if there's a simple explanation. Well, that was a trip into the spooky side of our brains. Even though science can't tell us for sure if ghosts are real, we can learn a lot about why people experience them. Remember, our brains are powerful, and sometimes like to play tricks on us. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more awesome videos about the brain.